How are you doing today, class? We present to you our movie review of Coach Carter. The summary. Ken Carter accepts a head coaching job at his former troubled high school, Richmond High. He meets his disrespectful team for the first time. He took them from being a losing team to now a winning team through discipline, hard work, and leadership. And then disaster strikes when Coach Carter receives the progress reports resulting in the lockout. The players mature through the process and become the men that Coach Carter knew that they were. After all of the dedication and the endless practices, they fell short in the final tournament. Coach Carter changes players from boys to young men and gives them a new chance in life. Self-confidence shown in the movie. People have inner feeling to feel worth or confident. These feelings of confidence determine a person's motive for doing something. Having this intrinsic feeling increases pride if a goal is achieved. However, it could increase shame or doubt if the goal is not achieved. Some examples of self-confidence in the movie. Damien, which is Coach Carter's son, he's confident that he has the intellectual ability to attend any college in the United States, as well as maintain a GPA of 3.7 or higher. Timo Cruz is confident that he can complete the task that Coach Carter assigns for him, which was pretty much impossible. And another thing was that when the boys found out that they were going to the championship, they were confident by celebrating. Self-confidence and the signs of self-confidence in Coach Carter. One of the components necessary to build self-confidence is the previous success in the endeavor you are trying to be successful in. Although the players were not successful as a team, Coach Carter used their individuality to make them successful. So basically, he used all their personalities and all of their abilities to achieve one goal. The modeling behavior was a strategy that they used appropriately. The behavior that Coach Carter wanted to be displayed by his players, he modeled that behavior himself. The use of social persuasion was used appropriately in this movie because the coach often used positive words to encourage his team. However, he also used a strategy that was inappropriate by using sarcasm, in which many may seem as demeaning.
Motivation in Coach Carter. Motivation is the direction and intensity of effort. Throughout the movie of Coach Carter, you'll see many forms of motivation shown from Coach Ken Carter. I've chosen 3 to talk about right now. The first act of motivation was the contract that Coach Carter had the players and parents sign in order to play. This just motivates them to want to do good in school with maintaining a GPA and having to attend all classes. And it motivates them to be better people because it makes them be respectful because they have to call everyone sir and ma'am. The second act of motivation was throughout the movie you'll hear Coach Carter consistently ask Cruz what his deepest fear is. And this ends up being a quote that Cruz later on recites to Coach Carter about fears and being great. Cruz was just going through a hard time, and Coach Carter knew that, and he kept asking what his greatest fear was, and Cruz didn't know what he meant. And by the time that Cruz needed to know what the quote meant, he did. And I just want to read it to you real quick, what it is. What is your deepest fear? Our deepest fear is that we are not inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is your light, not your darkness, that most frightens us. So Cruz just needed to realize that his fears are holding him back, and he needs to conquer them and move on and motivate him. And the last act of motivation was when the players were sitting in the library. Carter has a motivational talk with them about their lives after high school. The players didn't understand that basketball wasn't going to be there forever, that it will end eventually, and that college will get them ready for their future, give them an education, and keep them out of jail and dying, basically. And one quote that Coach Carter gave to them in the library that really opened their eyes was that growing up in Richmond, you're 80% more likely to go to prison than college, and this just made them realize that they had to get it together so they could have a good future. Coach Carter used some appropriate strategies for motivation, and one of them being he demonstrated improvement. He let every player know when he was improving and mastering a task at hand. He gave the players autonomy, which gave them the voice. It let them know that Coach Carter wasn't just listening to them and taking it in one ear and out the other, that he actually understood what they were saying and wanted to help them and gave them a voice. And the last was believing that each player's contribution is important. He understood that not every player will be the leading scorer or the best defender, but each player has something to give to the team, and he made sure all the other players knew that too. Some inappropriate strategies that he used was the use of physical abuse. He made them do so many suicides and push-ups that it was in the thousands, and that's not what you need to do to motivate your team. That's not healthy at all. And then another form was criticism with sarcasm. Sometimes in the movie you'll see he uses sarcasm towards his players to try to get him to do what he wants, and we've learned from the notes and the chapters that that's not a good strategy to use for motivation. And the last one was he employs guilt, and that's also not something you should do, and he doesn't do it very often, but I picked out a couple points in the movie where I saw that. But overall, his strategies to motivate the team did work, because they ended up with a really good season even though they fell short. But he did a good job.
The ways that Coach Carter used communication during the movie. By making the players sign a contract if they chose to play on the team. He made them also respect and have high expectations of themselves. He also, no one was allowed around their contract. What was written in the contract is what you had to abide by if you wanted to play for the Richmond High School basketball team. Another way he communicated with them was making the guys responsible for doing their push-ups and their suicides. If you was late for practice, then you had push-ups and suicides. And if you wanted to be on the team and you left during the contract signing, you had to do push-ups and suicides, like, for example, Cruz during the movie. Another way he communicated in the movie was locking the players out of the gym for not having good grades, even though at that time they were undefeated. And I'm going to show you a clip.
Quiet! Quiet! Gentlemen, in this hand, I hold contracts signed by me and signed by you. In this hand, I hold academic progress reports prepared by you. We have 6 players failing at least one class, 8 players getting incomplete based on attendance. Gentlemen, you have failed the other. I'm sorry. We have failed. We have failed each other. Now, there are some of you who have upheld this contract, but know that we are a team. And until we all meet the terms of this contract, the gym will remain locked. Mr. Thompson, Gessick, and Ms. Sherman have generously volunteered their time to help us reach our goal. But, Coach, I have a 3.3. That's good, sir. Do you score all the points for the team, too? We are the Richmond Oilers. Do you know what Oilers stands for? Sir? know that you're not just walking out on me, you're walking out on them.
I had to beg you. And then I ran all those sprints. I did all that shit. I killed myself for you, sir, to get back on the team. This is bullshit.
Okay, and the pros and cons of the communication during Coach Carter. The pros was he built leadership with them, making them believe that they can do all things, and to stand up for what they believe in. To not only think that just because we were from Richmond High School, we were going to make it to college or whatever people may have thought of them. And his pros was he was very direct with them. Whatever he said, he meant it, and there was no leeway. And some cons was he's a dictatorship. That's kind of one of his downfalls, was that he really didn't too much talk to the players. He just pretty much said, this is my way. If you want to be a part of this team, then you do what I say. And he discouraged them, by making fun of them, also embarrassing them. Like, for example, Junior, when he pointed out that Junior couldn't read, that was, embarrassment. And also Cruz making him run all those suicides and push-ups in those little days, knowing that he wasn't going to be able to finish them in time.
For Coach Carter, goal setting is a powerful process for thinking about your ideal future and for motivating yourself to turn your vision of this future into reality. One form was the contract players had to sign of maintaining a 2.3 GPA. Another one was Coach Carter making them respect themselves to be better men. They had to wear a suit and ties on game day. Another form of goal setting was Coach Carter striving for them to go to college. He wanted all of them to get a good education. And then towards the end of the movie, you notice more players wanting to go to college, so it helped set a goal for them and for themselves to go to college and have a better life. Another one was the players setting a goal to beat their rival, St. Francis, in the regional playoffs. They lost to them at the beginning of the game, and they were never good at basketball until Coach Carter came, so that was one goal that they wanted to set for themselves. An appropriate goal setting that was in the movie was Coach Carter gave them the contract to uphold with a certain GPA. Another one was Coach Carter made them attend study sessions to better their grades for college. That way they'd have a better chance of getting in. He also gave statistics about the number of guys that go to college after high school, and then the number of guys that go to prison and don't make it to college or end up dead. The inappropriate goal setting was the way Coach Carter went about making them uphold the contract. He kind of mentally abused them about it, which wasn't right. The other way was Coach Carter made them respect themselves. Like I said, he mentally abused them, so it wasn't right in the way that he made them feel worthless sometimes about themselves. So, in conclusion, Coach Carter had a plan for the team to make them a winning team and becoming young men. All the hard work and discipline he put them through, he came out with a winning team and gained respect that he thought he would never get. He was real surprised at the end of the movie that the guys turned out to be men, and that's what he really wanted. And also, Coach Carter used the skills in the movie very well. He was a great coach to the students, and it was an amazing movie.